Basement Bookers Podcast.
What's up? It's your boys, the Basement Bookers Podcast, with another exciting, super duper regular sized episode of the Basement Bookers Podcast. We have a great show for you today. Let me do the rundown first. We'll get to introductions right after because then I want to remember everything right away. So we're going to talk about the best Forbidden Door since the last Forbidden Door. And then when we go from there, we're going to pick. No, you know what? No, we're starting with Money in the Bank picks and predictions. The best Money in the Bank picks and predictions episode based on Money in the Bank since the last one. Of course, followed by NXT Heatwave picks and predictions. Definitely the more cohesive one than the last one. And of course, then and only then will we give a detailed breakdown of AEW's Forbidden Door pay-per-view just for you. The only way the Basement Bookers podcast knows how. And you have my promise of that. And whatever comes up along the way, we're trying to get this out in time for picks and predictions, and of course, forbidden knowledge from the Forbidden Door, the best Forbidden Door since the last Forbidden Door. Um, I'm Basement Jer. This is Rich the Riz over there. He's the most Riz's baldest man. He's the basement champion. He got more guesses correct than me than the last time. Today could be different. Today could be the same. I don't care. I only know one thing. I know everybody wins when we talk about money in the bank, because when you talk about money in the bank, you got a lot of possibilities. You got people making all sorts of speculations, overbooking, underbooking. I don't know where, but let's talk about that. Rich Perez, your turn to put words in the space.
Yes, words in space. That's what I do. That's what we both do here on the Basement Bookers podcast. I just want to say welcome. Thanks for checking out our picks and predictions, which are coming up right after this. Money in the Bank. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. It's one of my favorite premium live events because, yeah, it's a little predictable, but it can still go anyway. Like, there's a lot of X factors involved in all these matches, and I'm ready to get into these predictions.
Yeah, me too. I can't wait to get through this prediction so we could talk about the Forbidden Door pay-per-view in detail. Everything I know, you will know, and of course, more from there. Okay, now let's move on to the Money in the Bank, which turns out is hosted by Toronto's own Trish Stratus. She is a known fan of the Basement Bookers podcast. She's definitely subscribed, but like she's in the closet. So it's okay if we say that because it's not outing her or anything because no one's gonna believe us. So
Mm,
yeah, she really does. John Cena follows me on Twitter, but that's
facts.
that's real. Okay. So look, the first match I put here is gonna be a six-man match that I assumed was happening and don't quite recall it being announced that it was, and then rewatched SmackDown. And, oh, okay. Yeah, makes sense. We have here the Bloodline 2.0. I would say they are Bloodline point 0.5. I feel it feels like a downgrade to what I like about the Bloodline. And it's not these guys.
Well, the sequel is
Um
never as good as the first.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, I think they're great. We're not here yet. We gotta, like, so is there anything else there? Or you're just an enforcer? Like, you know what I mean? Are you
Hmm.
solo light? But I don't believe that. I think these guys, especially Tamatonga, like, I would grade him a tier above solo, I think. I don't know. I haven't seen much of his stuff, but I feel like he's got more experience probably.
Mm-hmm.
Tamatonga does. So we, of course, once again, um, let me just put it there, put it right there, just to show you guys. Once again, there's Cody. Okay, Cody's here. Um, Now the Money in the Bank ladder match. When does that take place? What in the card, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just thinking. But anyway, Rich, what do you got to say about this, really?
My thinking here, like you would think, oh, okay, Cody's in the match, but it being a six-man tag, that they could do something where Cody, the faces lose because it doesn't really hurt Cody. He's not gonna have to drop the belt, obviously. Um, but I think the team of Cody RKO are going to win this match. Um, I think they're gonna hand Bloodline 2.0 in a whichever three-man means they have. I think they're gonna hand him a loss.
All right, so here's the thing. I'm gonna have to go and ask the question, like, what does the team of Kevin Owens and company have to gain from this? Like, don't you think they could use a win as a group? I'm not trying to talk you out of it. I'm
Hmm.
just thinking like they don't the Bloodline 2.0 don't have a group win. And I
Hmm.
I wish this was main eventing because I read somewhere that Priest and Rollins are going to main event at Money in the Bank, which I can't wait to talk about that. I can't wait to talk about the main event
Hmm.
tonight and just overbook the shit out of it, especially when it comes to Drew McIntyre, who I feel is Irish cursed. I believe.
Mm.
I know he's not, but you could be not Scot. You can not be Irish. You can not be Scottish. You can be American and be Irish cursed.
Yep.
Okay, so the Scotsman's been Irish cursed.
Sheamus hits that Irish curse without any sort of whatever. No,
Yeah, it's brought
lost the word.
this demon, this force into his life,
Hmm.
and it's just ruining it. Like remember this, man. When we talk about the main event, I'm telling you right now, Drew said he prayed for this to happen.
Hmm.
He didn't specify who he prayed to. And you got to be careful making bargains like that because the was it the reverb, the backfire is like it's double your pleasure, your displeasure, and quadruple your misery, you know?
Hmm.
So I'm just saying, Drew, you gotta and the only way to defeat this demon is the trick is you have to let go of it. And the evil that you pray to is betting on the fact that you can't do that. And that is the perfect weapon.
Hmm.
So I digress. As of right now, I'm gonna go Bloodline point 0.5 because of my dislike for them, and I feel like the universe is gonna push them on me. So I might as well get a point off of that, maybe, because of course I reserve the right to come back and be like, no, that's crazy. Screw these guys. They hurt Paul Heyman. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I'm gonna reserve that right as well. But I think, they had the whole Paul Heyman spot. It's WWE, even under Triple H, is still a lot about the moments rather than the wins and losses. And Bloodline delivers moments like that. I'm not saying they don't need a win as a team, but in a way they're a dominant force. So kind of maybe they don't.
I'm sorry, I need W's. Otherwise, you got Riot Squad here, okay? Like I can't
Oof.
look, no,
Oh.
look, I'm just saying, you gotta get the point, some
Yeah.
points, get some wins. You gotta I thought that wins and losses mattered in the bloodline now. Isn't that what we started with? Isn't there
That's
consequences? Like
that
what's
is that's what we're
interesting?
told the tribal chief
Interesting.
said.
Interesting, Solo. Interesting. Very interesting. It's very interesting that you're bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
All right. No more F bombs, but
So I'll
I can
tell
say
you.
that one.
Yeah. So here's my prediction. If the three that go into this match do not include Solo, I think it's an L.
Okay. Well, look, I'm not gonna stop you from making any mistakes. I take this game seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'm of course staying where I'm staying. The way the chips fall where they may. If I win, I win. If I don't win, SummerSlam's a better venue for me anyway. Brother, the territories love me, and so do the big cities. So it doesn't matter. The women are just as beautiful, but not as beautiful as my wife. Woo! Married man. And then you go, and then I go, and I like this, and the people love me. The
Mm-hmm.
people, they know. It's like, oh, this man loves his wife. What a
Mm-hmm.
good guy.
Mm-hmm.
They say that about me. All of them. All right. So, are we ready for the next one, friend? Are you locked on? Are you ready to defend? Because this next match is scheduled for one fall of a briefcase into their hands, preferably. The women's in the bank briefcase, Money in the Bank, women's ladder match. To be
Mm.
precise, Naomi, Zoe Stark, once favorite of the podcast to win, Chelsea Green, possibly still, Tiffany Stratton, Lyra Valkyria, and of course, Io Sky, who's probably going to be aided by the damage and control in some way.
I'll say this is a tough one. There's a
Oh, it's
lot
not
of
that hard, baby.
there's a lot of good potential storylines to come out of this, right? You could
Yeah.
have damage control help EO and EO wins, or maybe they'll try to help and screw up, and EO's again or still pissed at them. Chelsea Green has Piper Niven in her corner. Tiffany Stratton is an opportunist. Lyra and Naomi, they're my two zeros for this match.
Wow. The disrespect for Naomi from you is just
If they're gonna go with Naomi in the title picture, she's gonna earn it. It's not gonna be sorry, because of course winning the Money in the Bank ladder match is a feat, but she's gonna go about it the more traditional route. Same for Lyra Valkyria. Zoe Stark, maybe maybe she'll get help from Sonya, but I think, man, I feel like I'm gonna lock in Tiffy time.
well, Rich there is. First of all, how dare you deny the women and children of the world a glowing Money in the Bank briefcase merchandise?
Damn, that would be great merch.
Lights up. You
Hmm.
could get like the exact one for one replica. You know how much money? Anyway, please don't listen to me. So look, I'm just thinking big picture here.
Hmm.
Why let the people who make them in like the smaller places make it and make bank off of it? Why don't you make it official? You know, you got stockholders still, right?
Hmm.
You
Yep.
gotta. Anyway, not me though. So I too picked Tiffany Stratton because I locked her in. I said previously, actually, I don't know if it was in cut content or not, but you guys know. First it was Chelsea Green. I was like, as soon as I saw she was there, okay.
Hmm.
But then Tiffany Stratton, it's like, why wouldn't I pick her?
Hmm.
Like, she's a way better choice. That's oh my god, she could be champion
Yeah.
because if Bailey beats Nia Jax, how much of Bailey is there really left?
Hmm.
And Nia Jax is friends with Tiffany Stratton.
Yep.
So it'll be like she waited until after and she didn't steal her opportunity or nothing, that would be cool, right? They could still be friends.
Hmm.
And of course, Nia Jax still be Thurston.
Yeah.
Or Nia Jax could win, but I wouldn't want Tiffany to like cash in on her.
Yeah.
I would have her come down and celebrate with her
Hmm.
with no briefcase. And then it's just like they're friends. No, don't worry about it. This is this is security for you.
No, maybe
Like
she
if
does run out with the briefcase, and it's like a, well, what are you doing here
no,
kind of
but
moment.
like she can trust her if she
Hmm.
doesn't have it with her. She's less likely to be, aggressive. Or it could be she's out there without it and it's under the ring and then she like gets her when her back is turned or something. Because
Mm,
like Alexa Bliss is beating Nia Jax. Why can't Tiffany Stratton? Like
seriously.
that would be so cool. But I would want to like strengthen their friendship so like they're really tight and then it hurts more because
Hmm.
that's where it happens. Then that's where you get the matches with like you were my friend and shit like that.
I think I like the idea if they're going to
We was
stretch it out.
friends.
I like the idea of whoever winning, Tiffany or whomever, um,
Boom,
right, coming out without the briefcase,
boom.
attacking, and then grabbing the briefcase from under the ring and cashing in. I like that idea.
Look, it's just another one. We're full of them here.
Hmm.
Facebook Bookers podcast
Heard it
at
here first.
Gmail. You know what? You know it. But egos go away in this next contest where it's strength versus passion and heart. Blunt force trauma in a human being versus Sami Zayn, Braun Breaker looks to become the Intercontinental Champion at the expense of Sami Zayn. Rich Derez, your thoughts and feelings about this next contest?
I love Sammy. Sammy's great. Sammy is like the heart and soul of the IC title right now.
You don't
He's,
gotta look sugarcoat it, brother. He's a man. He can handle it. I know he also subscribes.
but I don't know why they would have Braun lose now. I don't know
Well,
why they wouldn't give him the IC title now. I'm going Braun.
well, that's a good choice. And I think that's also my prediction because I was thinking of a squash here.
Mm,
I was thinking Clubber Lang. I'm like just Rocky 3, Mr. T.
mm-hmm.
Yes, like I'm not saying that they're hammerneggers. I'm not saying the people because Gable is not that. Gable is an Olympian, all
That's right.
right, and legit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like that. But I feel like it's gonna be. It's not that people were giving him easy fights. It's just how it was. And then comes this thing,
Mm-hmm.
that's just young, angry, and hungry. But you can make a mistake. Now that I think about it, you can. His inexperience and Sami Zayn's experience, it's like this. But
Mm-hmm.
you think that, and I think power and speed is going to. I don't think Sami Zayn is gonna understand what happened. Like
Right.
it's gonna be over so fast. He's gonna be like, "Did I win?" It's gonna be like that.
Yeah. So Braun has a few tools that Sammy doesn't. All those tools are in the power and strength category. Um, they're equally quick. Braun has that extra explosivity, which comes with the greater size, but potentially equal or greater speed. Right. So he's hitting with a lot more force when he hits something like that spear or the running lariat or anything like that. Um, the one thing Sammy really has going for him is his experience. They could have him like eke out a win, like maybe Braun a little too much, and Sammy reverses and gets a quick 1, 2, 3, slides out of the ring. But I I think it's time. I think it's time to pull the trigger, give it to Braun, give him a run, make him unstoppable, give him more mic time. He needs a little bit of practice, not a lot. He's very good for his level of experience. Needs a little more. Give it to him. Having the IC title will give him those opportunities to have the mic, to have a bigger stage, bigger platform, more eyes on him. All this will be good for him, and I think it's good for the IC title. Give it to him.
All right, so I think what I would do is I would have it where it's not exactly original because Drew McIntyre kind of did that at WrestleMania, but Braun Breaker spears Sammy right off the gate. Like he's so fast,
Mm.
he spears him. Because like what's he got, like 20 miles per hour or something?
23 miles an hour when he hits the
So
ropes.
let's think wrestling physics,
Hmm.
and you're being like speared with that, and he gets a 2 and a fucking point, just a this hair of a 3,
Hmm.
and Sammy kicks out,
Hmm.
and then Braun Breaker loses his shit, and then Steiner recliner on Sami
Mm.
Zayn, and then he passes out.
I like the recliner as a finish for this.
Yeah, you want to see because then his face is going to be all over promos
Hmm.
when talking about how tough Braun Breaker is.
Hmm.
Because, like, of course, after that, you don't want Sammy on TV for like a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I say Sammy passes out in it rather than tap out.
That's what, yeah, that's what I said.
Hmm.
That's what I said.
Okay.
So that's definitely what's going to happen. I think. If not, fine. Still the
Hmm.
same finish, but it would be cool right here. All right. Let's go. This one is not the main event. The main event is Damian Priest versus Seth Rollins. Um, as far as I know.
Hmm.
So this next one is the Gentleman's Money in the Bank ladder match, and it includes LaKnight, Drew McIntyre, the Irish cursed Drew McIntyre. I know he's Scottish, but you could be cursed from, it doesn't matter.
Hmm.
Carmelo Hayes, Chadford Gableford, Jimmy J, Jimmy Jimmy, and Andrade, Speed Champion. You're gonna do some great things here, buddy. It's great to see you. I'm glad you're here. Charlotte will be proud of you.
Hmm.
You masculine, manly man, you. Anyway, um, I don't think he's gonna win. Spoiler alert. Um, my pick here, and this is where we start getting into that overbooking shit. We're not
Hmm.
even going to be on the main event yet. So I was thinking first, oh, it's got to be Jimmy J, Jimmy.
Hmm.
But then it's like, I don't know if the bloodline would let that happen. And if this was the main event and Roman Reigns came out to make the save and Jay wins the briefcase,
Hmm.
I would lose my mind. My head would, like, as I'm watching it, my face will start to get red and
Hmm.
warm and steam just
Hmm.
shooting out of my ears,
Hmm.
and then my eyes are gonna explode out my head. If that happens, dude,
Wow. Yeah, that would be huge.
that's ridiculous. Like the pop,
Hmm.
especially coming off of what happened to Heyman, while it's
Yep.
fresh, while it's fresh.
Hmm.
Oh man, the goats are cruel. All right, so I didn't make a decision here. Look, it's either Drew or Jimmy. And I feel like if Drew somehow won,
Hmm.
which he's not going to win, CM Punk won't let that happen. All right. Anyway, um, yeah, Drew will get the a botched cash in. The briefcase is gone super early
Hmm.
because you got Gunter coming up at SummerSlam.
Hmm.
Um, I think it's got to be Jay. Like like a month ago, I would have said Chad Gable,
Hmm.
but I mean, it looks like Jay. Man, these extracurriculars, man. I'm just tired of being disappointed with Drew. But the thing
Hmm.
is, he has to fail twice for it to really hurt. Like if he wins the briefcase, he's gonna cash in. He said he would.
Hmm.
Why wouldn't Punk ruin that? He's a noose on me too.
Yeah. But that's what I'm thinking. Punk lets him have his victory and then screws up the cash in because that would just piss Drew off that much more. And it takes the plot device out of play super early. They got a whole year. And maybe the women's Money in the Bank winner, Tiffany Stratton, will actually hold it for more than 24 hours.
I'm I'm thinking SummerSlam for her.
Yeah,
Makes it interesting. That you don't need two. You don't necessarily need two Money in the Bank storylines to be running.
right.
So if you have at least one that's long term, that's good enough, I think.
Yeah.
And if there's two, fine, but I don't think it's a huge loss. So let's get on to the next match here.
The main event
So
of
it's
the
Jay
evening.
versus Drew, huh? For
Yeah.
that one? Yeah, wow. And that's crazy because those two have story together.
Hmm.
All right. Let's talk about the Undertaker versus Seth freaking Rollins.
Hmm.
That's of course Damian Priest, the Undertaker versus Seth freaking Rollins. Thank me, you're welcome. This is for the World Heavyweight Championship. This is the biggest prize on Monday Night Raw. This has been a sort of, it's not really helping Priest right now. The fact that he hasn't defended his championship. He's a champion who still needs to prove himself, as we've discussed here,
Hmm.
and he feels that way too, especially with what's going on with his team, the Judgment Day, and I think Damian Priest is going to win this match. I think he has to win this match because he needs to get a win over someone legitimate without
Hmm.
any outside interference to really say, I'm here and now it's I got Gunter waiting for me.
Hmm.
So, what do you think?
Yeah, it's gonna be Priest by hook or by crook because they're
Yeah,
not pulling him out of Judgment Day just yet.
yeah, exactly. That's just to like they could have it and he still get kicked out anyway. Like he could still win
Hmm.
and be like, well, you know what? Well, fine, you can be champion by yourself, and then just replace him or something.
Yeah.
But like, it's got to
What do
be
you mean we
something
don't?
good.
We need you. We don't need
Yeah,
you.
like he could still like it could be like, oh no, it's fine. He's still in Judgment Day, and then it's the Monday Night Raw. Like we've experienced things like this kind of. It's like
Hmm.
the thing still happens to them. It's just delayed. The
Yeah.
inevitable. You couldn't
It.
escape it.
Yeah. It's just it's the reason that you didn't expect because we gave you a different reason and then didn't follow through on it. But now here it is anyway.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. So, are we both in agreement here?
Yeah, it's Priest.
All right, Rich. There is review, recount, and if you need to make any changes, now's the time. Look, my fate is sealed. I actually am excited about this pay per view.
Yeah, this is going to be good. I love
I
Money in the
went with
Bank.
my gut instincts on everything. Really, what how I felt. So I'm ready for this. Let's review.
Man, I'm looking at that Bloodline versus Cody RKO. I think I'm going to stick with it. All right. So for Cody RKO versus Bloodline, I got Cody RKO. Jared has the Bloodline. For the Intercontinental Championship match, we both have Braun Breaker coming out on top. For the women's Money in the Bank, we both have Tiffany Stratton. For the men's Money in the Bank, I have Drew McIntyre. Jared has Jimmy J, Jimmy Johns, Jay Uso. And for the main event of the evening, for the World Heavyweight Championship, we both have Damian Priest over Seth freaking Rollins. And that is our list of Money in the Bank predictions. Who do you got? You know what to do. Let us know down below.
That's right, Rich. There is. I just saw Trish Stratus. Sorry,
yeah,
I'm all kerfuffled.
yeah, yeah,
She's right
yeah.
there.
Mm-hmm.
Trish Stratus.
It's blinding
Speaking
headlights.
of Heat Wave,
Yeah.
we got to talk about Heat Wave. This who wants some cake? Come to
Mm,
Heat Wave with some ice cream and party hats and the thing you blow into and it goes that the party
mm-hmm.
and maybe there's a cookout, some hot dogs,
Hot dog.
hot dogs.
We
All
got
right,
hot dog in this match.
it's hot in here. Listen, man. All right, we're trying here. All right, so we've got JC Jane. We got Rich Perez. Take it away.
Carmen Petrovic and Ariana Grace versus JC Jane and Jasmine Nix.
That's right, Rich. There is. I'm sorry about that. I've forgotten the contract negotiations. You have to do some of them. I didn't mean that to hog up all the money in the bank. So I think it's going to be a Riz wave this year for the
Mm,
rest of the match card. Look, I'm going with the one that has JC Jane on the team. I feel like I like JC Jane. And I think that I can't be incorrect here. I believe this might be a pre-show match. I don't think it's on the card proper, and there's no title. So, yeah, I pick her.
same, JC Jane and Jasmine Nix. They have been pushing Petrovic a little bit, but they've also been pushing the JC Jane
Swords.
Jasmine Nix.
That's the sword
Yeah,
lady,
yeah,
right? All
yeah.
right.
She is.
Yeah, she's a sword lady.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Doing great. Next up, Rich, there is.
We got four. This is for the NXT Tag Team Championship. Nathan Frazier and Axiom defending against Andre Chase and Duke Hudson representing Chase University.
That's right. Chase University. Look, I would have went with Duke Hudson on the team with the big fella, Ridge
Yeah,
Holland.
Ridge Holland.
It should have been Ridge Holland
Uh-huh.
and the bigger guy in Chase University. The
Hmm.
two bigger guys, it would have been better, but
Hmm.
they're gonna lose. Joe Frazier, Nathan Frazier, Axiom, they're gonna
Hmm.
win.
Ridge has actually kind of been helping Chase get wins without or he's been helping Duke
Oh,
get wins without Andre noticing.
okay.
So I feel like this is going to be a Chase Unite.
Okay, look, I'm not changing my mind there, but I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happened.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they did the thing where like who's doing it? The Usos, where he's holding the rope and pushing with his feet while Duke's in the cover.
This will be good if they just keep like him just going through life. It's like, oh, we're doing great. Like
Hmm.
we're winning fair and
Hmm.
square, and all that stuff.
All on the up and up.
Yeah. Damn, man. After getting the place back from gambling, you're just, you're just not paying attention to what's happening. You're not being observant.
Duke, I mean Andre Chase, he just has his head in the sand.
Sometimes you're just winning. Maybe he's like, my hard work, all the studies and chase you, all the subjects that we cover that I'm afraid I have no idea what they cover. So I don't know what their curriculum is. I'm sorry. I don't know the lore, but whatever it is, he's got, don't you need to practice what you preach?
Yeah,
You know what I
and
mean? Watch
speaking
tape. Maybe he's going to
speaking of
watch tape.
yeah, speaking of, I believe for Andre Chase, this is definitely a teachable moment.
Oh my God, a teachable moment. And what's not a teachable moment is becoming the first ever NXT. Oh, sorry, Rich, you got to do this. This is your thing.
For the NXT Women's North American Championship,
First
this
ever.
is,
First
yes,
ever.
Kalani Jordan the first, defending against Sol Ruka. This is probably, I would say, her biggest threat to date, and I think they're going to keep it on Kalani.
Rich Derez, I couldn't agree more. I think it should be Kalani the first. She should continue to reign over North America because that's what she's going to do.
Hmm.
She's going to reign alongside Obafemi, who's technically the king of North America.
Mm.
So it's like, they're not, but they're like, it's like, hey, vice president, president, but like they're both really
Hmm.
cool.
Hmm.
So that I think Kalani the first all the way. Long may she reign. First of her name,
Yep.
Queen of North America and the native men. And then all the other men that came here from other places. And then she was king of them too. Don't forget the Neanderthals; they count. She's queen of them, and long may she reign. It's official.
Yes, it doesn't matter that he's no longer employed by NXT.
Kalani the first. That's right.
That's
You
right.
know. All right. So, my friend,
Hmm.
this is the other coin. This was the perfect segue, but I ruined it. Here we
All right.
go. Go ahead.
For the men's NXT North American Championship, this is the second last chance match of the weekend. Obafemi defending against Wesley because if Obafemi wins, Wesley cannot challenge for the NXT North American Championship again as long as Obafemi is champion. So I believe because if we got Priest beating Seth, and Seth can't win, Seth can't vie for the title again as long as Priest is champion. I think Wesley wins this.
I think you're out of your freaking mind.
Mm,
Honestly, you are out of. You're crazy, dude. You're crazy because Obafemi is gonna rule forever. Like he's just no, okay. Look, they say, they said no king rules forever.
hmm
Rafa Lich King, I remember the cinematic. But listen, I think Wesley is a toothpick, and Obafemi is gonna break him
mm,
because he's fragile. His body is fragile.
mm,
Okay, storyline wise, when it comes to rise to the occasion, his body crumbles. And Obafemi is a sledgehammer, a man sledgehammer made out of like vibranium, straight out of Wakanda.
mm.
Like I don't know what you're gonna do here. You're not dealing with that. You're not dealing with reality. So, but it's okay. It's not for a championship or anything, but that could be a huge upset prediction right there. Like that's like, you go to the place when you're betting on horses and stuff and it's
Hmm.
not a good one and
Hmm.
it's like, nah, and it's like, "Oh my god, what the they put steroids in that horse." And then you get like a lot of money because right? That's how it works.
Yep.
So that's for the prediction market. God
Hmm.
knows how many basement dollars you could get from that, not affected by inflation or anything.
A
So
lot of basement dollars.
that's right. All right. Next up, we have.
Is this where we talk about that segment?
Well, I'm glad that you did. So now we can. So first, I'm gonna queue up the card for you, and
Okay.
then you can do your thing. Get your voice out there, make your voice heard to the
All right.
people.
All right. So this match, I wish it were for the loser never speaks again. But it is Roxanne Perez defending the women's championship against a load of ice. A load of ice vying to become the first ever Cubano Americano North women's NXT champion. That segment was bad. That hurt. It hurt. I could watch it in one sitting. I had to pause and walk away.
Yeah, sometimes you'll see something and it's so like uncomfortable. Like it feels like it's happening to you and you're
Like it,
watching it happen to somebody. It's like, oh no, you're in trouble.
yeah, it was bad enough when Lola Vice clearly forgot her lines, clearly, and then she like got emotional. It's like, were you like trying to cue it up? Were you like scratching at your thigh or something to
That's a
cry?
that's an interesting observation because I thought she was
Mhm,
overacting. I thought that she was supposed to be it's supposed to be an emotional story, and she can't like I think. Look, some people live a beautiful life. You know what I mean? And some people live a beautiful life, and they step into a cage and get hit in the face for money, and
mhm,
hit other people in the face for money, and that might make you somebody that kind of has a hard time like crying on cue if that's what you're supposed to do.
mhm,
Like that's where my head was at because of Lola Vice's background and stuff like that. That's what I
mhm.
was thinking. I'm like, maybe she's too hard. She's just some
But
people are just
this
hard.
but this is not Bellator.
I know, but I'm saying like,
I shouldn't
you
say I
know what
hate.
I'm
I
trying to
don't
say,
like
right?
Roxanne
Am I
Perez. I
trying to
do.
make sense? Okay,
Yes, you absolutely make sense. It hurts my brain how bad this segment
dude.
was.
Like, and it's like Roxanne Perez wasn't the worst one.
Right.
So no disrespect to Roxanne Perez. I think what she does in the ring, I think they call her that for a reason. You don't just call somebody a prodigy, all the hours and things.
Mhm.
Look, I'd love Lola Vice to be the NXT Women's Champion, but it's just not going to happen here. And that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I agree. It's gonna be Roxy.
All right. This next match, before you introduce it to us, it
Mm.
perplexed Basement Jer, befuddled him even. And I remember the battle royal to pick the number one contender for Swerve Strickland's championship. And the winner was that new gentleman, the young
You
guy.
s-
What's his name? What?
Javon Evans. So Trick Williams is not Swerve Strickland, but I get
Yeah, they're both the
it.
champions somewhere.
Right. Right.
Don't
One
make
one
this a
one
bigger thing. I was thinking about him because I got AEW stuff in my head too, and
yeah, I
like
mean,
it's
but
hard
like I
to keep it in there while I'm talking about NXT stuff.
yeah, one swerves when he drives, the other whoops that trick. I get it.
All right, so Trick Williams, the new fella won the battle royal.
Mhm.
And now there's more guys. Like, why? How the hell? Because I got to be honest. I might have missed some things. I might have missed some things. So why
Yeah.
don't you as you introduce it, explain it? How the other
Yeah,
guys? Is it okay?
in my defense, if NXT were a little more watchable, I would. I love I like Sean Spears a lot. I love Ethan Page. It's, I said it a couple weeks ago. Two men cannot save a show. They just can't.
You
As
know,
great as they are. So this match scheduled for one fall is a fatal four-way match for the NXT Championship. We have the champion Trick Williams defending against his friend Javon Evans, Sean Spears, and all ego Ethan Page.
well, he is all ego. Look, I gotta say, if I didn't know who all ego Ethan Page was, like
Mhm,
just looking at this, I'm not judging him. Look, we all know I'm not handsome anymore. I'm just saying, like, he looks like the default character, like before you customize him in like a RPG.
mhm.
Like he looks kind of like that, but like that's not his personality. I think there's a lot more to him than that.
And it's
Just for
funny
the record.
because like the first time you hit randomize, I think you get Sean Spears.
Oh shit. You know what? I feel like I've gotten that before, though. Not
Yeah.
gonna lie, I just can't
Mhm.
remember the game, but I feel like that's happened before.
Like in WoW, you get the hair and the weird beard.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Trick all the way on that, by the way.
Oh, I don't think so.
Oh shit.
I feel like he's gonna be like, Javon, what are you doing? And then boom, Ethan Page.
Uh, Okay. That. Oof. Okay. Yeah. Sure. That would be cool. That'd be kind of neat.
Hmm.
All right. Well, that's gonna be fun. What an action-packed weekend of wrestling, all for the low price of Peacock Network. Wow.
Right.
So, you know, unrelated, let's talk about the last Forbidden Door since the best Forbidden Door since the last Forbidden Door. It did not fail to disappoint. Definitely not Peacock Network pricing, but I
Mm.
digress. Look at that, the 0 hour here. Rich there is, you of course know everything. You know who the winners are. You know what happened because me and you, we don't just watch these pay-per-views, like we absorb them into our bodies.
Hmm.
And we just it's very hard to translate it. So
It's
it's like a
total. It's
yeah,
total immersion. It's like
yes.
slipping into a bathtub, not a big bathtub, like a
No,
normal sized
no.
bathtub with these four women. It was an
It
experience.
was an experience, wasn't it? And who here came out on top while I'm not stalling for time?
This match had Willow Nightingale and Tam Nakano defeat Stat and Momo Watanabe by pinfall.
And Rich Derez, I believe this was on the buy-in, correct? Everyone was able to watch this if they have YouTube or whatever.
That is correct. This was 0 hour or the buy-in or whatever they decided to call it because I don't pay attention to that kind of thing.
Well, that's right, Rich Derez. What a guy you are. That match was great. It was, it was on the best buy-in since the last buy-in. It was 10 minutes and 20 seconds of good old-fashioned women's wrestling. I
Hmm.
feel like the right persons won, and they all go out to karaoke after anyway. So really, it doesn't matter. At the
Hmm.
end of the day, kayfabe, he gone. Okay, Rich the Riz. I couldn't believe it, Rich the Riz. Actually, yes, I could believe it. That when the brightness of Wikipedia comes on the screen, my face is quite bright.
Hmm.
Don't worry, guys. I see just fine. It's just picking up the brightness.
He was
I
not going towards the light. He is sitting right in his
no,
seat.
but my
He is
pick.
not traveling through that forbidden door.
Woo! All right. There's no way back. No one's come back yet. So look, I was right. Mariah May, who I think may go all the way and become the Owens to win the Owen Cup for the
Hmm.
ladies. I think I'm on the right track. Seeing as how my picks that I said last week, if they won at Forbidden Door, they were going all the way. And
Hmm.
so far, spoiler alert, Brian Danderdan is going far. So he
Bernader.
might win this thing too. Even with the return of the newly minted Hangman Adam Page, who's back. People were a little upset that he beat Jeff Jarrett because apparently Jeff Jarrett has this story because he was friends with Owen Hart and it meant something for him to win the cup. And Hangman is the elite's wild card they were referring to,
Oh,
right?
so he's heel. Heel man.
Maybe. And no, he's not even with them. Like
Oh.
they tried to like be like, hey, like, look, I'm not playing with your BS. I'm out here to win,
Mm.
whatever. Like, and he shoved one of them on the ground. So I'm not holding up high hopes.
Hmm.
I'm like, can you maybe do like Stone Cold a little? Like, could you like just be
What?
like, not like that, but like just like you don't need anybody. You just mess people up. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? Just be like a cowboy, like a real Hangman Adam Page. Like be tough. Don't be such so soy.
Hmm.
Like before he was soy, he felt a little less soy. He still's got that powerful mustache.
Hmm.
Man, that legit. Sorry about that.
I say he grows a strong mustache.
Dude, he Yeah, I'm jealous. Not a lot of people can do that, but not a lot of people can wrestle. And these guys sure as hell can wrestle. But the Lucha Bros and Ray Phoenix and Mystico, they taught those Governor Marbles de Japón.
Los Ingobernables.
Yeah, that's the words. I messed up. I'm gonna get yelled at by my mom or something. I'll live. All right. So this is also on the buy-in. I feel like it was the main event. I feel like it
Mhm.
was fine. It was 12 minutes probably of wall to wall. You know it. What about you, buddy?
Yeah, this was definitely quite the match. 12 solid minutes here with the Lucha Bros on top. It's great, whatchamacallit, dating app photos for Los Ingobernables there, by the way.
Thank you. I made it myself. I don't
Mhm.
know. Maybe you guys want to look again. I don't know if you can tell. I made this. It's very
Yeah,
tasteful.
yeah.
Um,
I definitely know some people that would swipe right on all of them.
Dude, the dude in the middle,
Oh yeah.
like he's probably smart and wise,
Hmm.
but like in a cool way, not like in a
Hmm.
weird way. Like
Hmm.
he's cool. Like you just want to be his friend, you
Yeah,
know?
definitely, definitely.
Like
Just.
the dude with the loud jackets, like, no, you stay away from all of my female relatives
Hmm.
and my male relatives. Just if you could
And
just
definitely all their kids.
well, listen, let's not be, let's not prejudge people. I
You're
mean,
right.
yeah, maybe,
Yeah.
I don't know. Listen, um, he's a weird guy. He could like be like, "Hey, it's okay if you eat a cookie," and your dad said no. He could be that kind of bad
Mhm.
influence, you know? We don't know.
Mhm.
So he's a rebel, is what he's saying. That's what he meant. So let's. I saved this. I saved this whole thing. Now I knew this next one. I called this at first, when I definitely created this graphic. I don't know if you could tell, but I did. I had Jack Perry like scaled way higher, like
Mhm.
a giant, like to be like, hey, gee, I wonder who I think is going to win this.
Mhm.
And he does, like Godzilla versus any small village.
Mhm.
That's what happened right there.
Yeah. I remember I picked Takeshita for this one, but
Yeah.
yeah, they went Jack Perry. They're just not respecting Takeshita enough.
Yeah. I feel bad, bro. You know? But what makes me feel good is this feel good ending to Tony Storm and Mina Shirakawa.
Mhm.
This was, of course, for the AEW Women's World Championship. This prestigious Mariah May and them. You know what? Tony Storm may have won this match, but I feel like at the end of the day, love wins. I think that's what wins. And when love wins, it's a celebration and there's fireworks and everybody's happy. So yes, I think that was solid. What about you, buddy?
Definitely,
She was
definitely,
there.
definitely a good feel up win. I mean, a feel good win, good feel good up moment there. Um, and we saw them all walk out together, very nice. And I cannot wait for the video that they're going to post for only their fans.
On YouTube, PG here.
Sure, sure,
Let's
sure. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, that, yeah,
so
yeah.
we don't condone or what. Okay, so
If they
speaking
release it themselves,
speaking of cases of mistaken identity, we
mm,
have Mercedes Monet, the TBS championship, putting herself over NGPW Strong Women's champion Stephanie Vacour, and what was easily the most predicted ever. What do you
yeah,
think? She has
especially
creative control.
right, right.
Why would she
So.
ever lose? It's the meme. Do you know the meme with Hulk Hogan? When it's like time to put somebody over, they just play his like an NWO video of him. It's like, no, 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 no.
Oh, I do now.
Anytime they did that for Becky, it's like Becky, no one, Becky Lynch.
Hmm. I mean, Tony Khan. It's great to enjoy what you do, right? It's good. It's good to have a passion.
It's the dream, man. Look, I'm not mad at Tony Khan because he's living my best life. So I've decided that the feud is over. I got nothing bad to say. What, you living your dream? Oh, okay. I guess I should be an asshole about it. That's fine. Right. No one's giving me money for this shit. All right. Listen, censors and bureaucrats trying to take my gravy. All right. Speaking of gravy, what do you think about this next contest? This one here. Obviously, I didn't make this. I did make this. It worked out. Because Samoa Joe, Hook, and Shibata, who's going by the wrestler Katsuyori Shibata, all of a sudden,
Mm,
and they defeated Learning Tree and Big Bill and Jeff Cobb.
mm-hmm.
Uh, Hook hit the Judas effect on Jericho and pinned him with it. And Jericho sought revenge on Hook on Dynamite. He had his father removed from ringside,
Mm,
and then he did commentary on the match. It was Shibata, Hook, and Joe,
mm.
and they were wrestling the guys that were Woodswar Strickland and Brian Cage. Those
Oh, the
guys,
Cage of Agony, they're calling him.
Cage of Agony, and they destroy Hook and Joe and everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And later on in the back, Jericho used wizard powers on Hook and threw a
Oh,
fireball in his face. And poor Hook had to sell a fireball. Honestly, I'm disgusted. Chris Jericho, you hilarious parasite. Let Hook go. Please. This is done. I thought it would be done, but it's not done. Anyway,
maybe Hook just really liked that spot in ECW back in the day, and the fact that Sandman literally just went about his entire life wearing an eye patch for that entire duration of that storyline.
I got to believe storylines are beautiful, especially when you remember them. I got to
Right?
say, like, that's my metric. Does he
Hmm.
remember this? Because
Yeah.
sometimes, like, how could you? And then it's like, oh, that's where it differs, where we see things,
You see, the
and
moon
that's
is not the only
cool.
thing made of Swiss cheese.
That's been debunked. Okay, I'm not getting fact checked. Okay, they ate off the moon.
Damn it.
All right, and believe it or not, it was Zack Saber Jr. defeating Orange Cassidy, and I was wrong. I thought that Orange Cassidy would go over.
I did too. Thank you, Tony Khan, for listening and hearing how ridiculous that idea would have been.
He's living his dream. He could have done anything.
Yeah, and what he did was gave Mercedes Monet creative control.
I mean, you got to play that New World Order music.
Wah, nah, wah, wah,
If
wah,
you could
wah,
Hogan it,
wah,
why wouldn't you
wah.
Hogan it? I don't understand. What games are we playing here? And then you can learn from it. But then she can't get caught by like Hogan because she can say things he can't. You know?
Uh,
Anyway,
yeah,
back to the podcast.
right.
That's a thing that happened. But I
That's my
wonder if it was
brother.
in retaliation of Booker T in that WCW clip. He got all triggered. Maybe he has like CTE from being body slammed a lot.
I, I,
Anyway,
I mean, I just thought of a rhyming thing we can call it that I can't say.
please don't. I don't want. I just want to put this and hope people like it on
Yes,
YouTube and
yes.
subscribe.
We are moving on to the next match.
We're looking for 69 subscribers. I just wanted that. So if we could
Yeah.
get there, and then we'll talk about it, and everybody gets basement dollars, which is not money. You can't spend it anywhere. It's not real. There's nothing to keep track of it. It's up to you, really. And if you were to modify it anyway, I wouldn't know. So really, I don't know what you could even get with it. So,
Better than NFTs.
it's better than nothing. Even if it is, like, it's nothing someone else made up, at
Hmm.
least. Isn't it better than something you made up? God, these are so many matches. So, Moxley, he's living his best life. He's like the only man in history to have held the AEW championship, the WWE championship, and the New Japan, the IWGP heavyweight championship, bro.
Hmm. Yep.
How big of a deal do you think that is, and how much do you think it means to John Moxley?
So, dude's building a legacy here, right? That's an accolade. That's a big thing. So Naito beat Mox by pinfall, kind of as I predicted, bringing the IWGP Championship back to New Japan Pro Wrestling, to New Japan contracted star, and we are again with in a time where no member of the Shield has a title.
Yes, and one of them is John Moxley's the one. He right now is the one. He's in the history books forever. Like no one's. This is legacy here. Like titles mean something,
Hmm. Yeah, it's more
and
lines on Wikipedia.
that's right. And that's what it's all about. I heard someone on
Hmm.
YouTube told me, so it got to be the truth. And what's the truth? Is MJF beat this guy? So
Hechicero.
that's right. He beat him, and then so MJF's a heel again. Um, Daniel Garcia gyrated into Will Ospreay's head, or I think it was the side of his face, maybe. I don't remember if it was his forehead or not, but he sold that. And then part of me, like, was like, oh, okay. I didn't know what else to do. I was stunned.
Hmm.
And it's like, okay, I mean, sure. So Garcia lost, and then MJF beat the hell out of him.
Hmm.
Like, I think he bloodied him.
Nice.
Now, I wonder if it's because he wanted there to be a championship from him to take at the next pay per view. Like, because he challenged him to Wembley.
Ah, yeah, that's probably it. That makes sense.
So I think MJF as a heel is good and proves once again. By the way, I said it before. I still believe it. Tony Khan living his best life, not being a hater. I think
Hmm.
it's awesome. But like, remember the devil storyline?
Hmm.
How much of a waste of time that was? That was cool, right?
Yep.
It's vapor. It's vapor. It's gone forever.
Hmm.
Only to be openly mocked by a podcaster in a baseball cap. But I digress. If you could even call him that. So let's move on to the next one. Hiroshi Tanahashi, the acclaimed,
Hmm.
also known as them guys versus the elite, Okada and the Young Bucks. Honestly, guys, as I look at this graphic, I don't want to look at any of these people. These images, and I know it's not doing it justice because it's all blurry. Like they just look like shit stickers. Even if the resolution was good, like these free stickers you would just get at a con that someone was handing out, and like, look at
Hmm.
this independent wrestling promotion down the block. Look at this. This is nice, right? It's on the back.
I've gotten
That's
better
what the
stickers out of those little quarter eggs. Remember those things? You
yeah,
put the quarter in, and
yeah.
egg comes out.
Even in higher res, it's lame. By the way, Billy Gunn is not Brock Lesnar. I just want everybody to know that. So you don't need to sell for him like he is. All right. So with this match, I was a little disappointed. What how did you feel?
Well, we both picked the elite, I believe. So we were
But
both
do
right.
you want to be right though?
Nah. I'd like the acclaimed to get back up the card.
I think Caster needs better raps.
Mm.
I think he needs better raps. He needs to get more acclaimed.
Well,
He
there's an
needs to
election
lay
coming up.
off. Oh my God, it's so funny. I was about to say, oh, we go back to see us because these are disgusting. He
Mm.
goes, I was gonna say maybe he should lay off the politics, and then you
Mm.
go, he's got an election coming up.
Yep. Yeah, that's all the material.
Well, he'd have to be brave to do it because there's so much material for certain people, they just don't touch it because go team go. But I'm just saying it's the materials are out there. People are not using the good stuff. I
Right.
digress.
Mm.
Be creative. Don't be afraid to be creative. Everyone's open to mocking. I am mocked by myself on a daily basis.
Hmm.
Honestly, I am sad, but you
Mhm.
know what? I'm smiling on the outside. All right, so let's get happy and talk about, of course, Danielson. Brian Danielson would beat the crap out of this guy. This Shingo Takagi, even though, boy, I I was worried a little bit. I'm like, come on, man. And then, of course, Brian Danielson pulls on out for your boy. Don't forget, he beat Triple H. Okay. And
Mhm.
then he went on to beat Randy Orton and Batista to become the champion. And now look at him. He's even more vicious and mean. He has a family that he needs to provide for. Well, he
Mhm.
had one before, but more of them. So,
Yep. This is so. We also know coming out of this week's Dynamite Beach Break that Brian Danielson, unless that's on Collision, I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So Beach Break, Brian Danielson defeated Pac to advance to
that
the
bastard.
finals. To advance to the finals of the Owen. And he will face the winner of Jay White versus Hangman Adam Page, which airs tomorrow, July 6th.
Please be Hangman. Please be Hangman. Hangman versus Danielson. I would watch that.
I mean,
They've wrestled before,
yeah, we
but like
know.
now it will be heel Hangman versus face Brian Danielson.
I am a little more interested in that than I am face Hangman versus Danielson, but I personally I'd rather see Jay White versus
Okay.
Brandon Dander.
Yeah, I feel like Jay White for me. I got the ceiling. He hit my ceiling. He hit the
Hmm.
basement chair ceiling. Cause it's always like, dude, you look so cool.
Hmm.
What's going on, bro? You know what I
Hmm.
mean? You're so cool. Like this doesn't make sense to me.
Hmm.
I think you need to start do some politicking or do what you need to do. Cause look, I'm a fan. It's just like being a fan of yours, like wanting you to win, is difficult. But maybe wins and losses don't matter to you. So fine. I'm just, you know, I just think like that character is too cool. Like I don't understand why he's not like on TV shows. You know, he could be a guy in there's like, hey, you want to buy some hamburgers, something like that. Sell you some hamburgers, or like, hey, man, don't be by my motorcycle, dude. I'll mess you up. Something like that. You could be everywhere. You could be that guy.
Yeah, we know, but listen, it's well known on this podcast that I am a white guy. I am a Jay White guy.
Yeah, definitely the Jayest white guy that I know in the history of the Basement Bookers podcast. Nonetheless, I digress into Swerve Strickland. Swerve Strickland. AEW World Champion Swerve Strickland, not to be confused with Trick Williams. Is Swerve Strickland?
Hmm.
Give me a freaking break. Okay? I'm I'm having a day. I'm holding it together. Swerve Strickland beat Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay wouldn't do the Tiger Driver 69 or whatever he calls it because he's not that guy anymore. He wouldn't do
Mm.
it. And then Swerve Strickland beat him. And now he's out of the family. He's told, he respectfully backstage to Don Callis. No
Hmm.
disrespect to the G.
Don
Um,
the Phallus.
look, good guy probably. The baldest head, and I appreciate people who know when to let go.
Mm. I'm the
And
baldest.
you're the richest baldest man, but he's like a shit heel baldest man. Like there's
Yeah.
like other spectrums to there's levels to this shit. You gotta
Yeah.
you just because of the level you live at, it's hard to see underneath you. So you should try that sometime. Like you gotta be careful because you don't want people getting on that level, so you could keep leveling up.
Hmm.
The the gap is already. Don't you want to keep it bigger? Like, don't let people think there's a chance, or maybe you're cruel. Maybe you're messed up. Maybe you want people to think. No, maybe you can. Okay. No. Okay, I'm almost done. Ah, and
I
then
feel like it's motivating, right?
yeah, yeah.
It's like you got this. Come on. Come
That
on.
means you can't turn your back for a second
Nope.
because the minute you slip,
Hmm.
they're gonna be so hungry. They're gonna eat you alive. And
Hmm.
speaking of being eaten alive, that is all the matches.
I don't think that was actually all 15. We had Kyle Fletcher defeat Serpentico by
Oh,
pinfall.
where
We
was
had the
that?
that was on the pre-show. That was a
Oh, I
whole
must.
three.
Oh, I went to play a game.
Yeah, that was the 3 minute and 10 second match. And
Oh, I'm sorry. I turned around.
we also had Kings of the Black Throne defeat Tomohiro Ishii.
Oh man, I'm sorry. Oh, they must have added those, and then I forgot to add them to the thing. Yeah.
Right, it was a four-way tag match. So they beat Tomohiro Ishii and Kyle O'Reilly, Roger Shawn and Gabe Kidd,
Look, we
and Private
definitely would
Party.
watch more pay-per-views from AEW if they had something like Peacock, which was like $6.
Yeah.
Um, like per show. Like I know it's a lot of matches, and I don't have to sit in traffic and stuff, but like I don't like that though. Like that. It's hard these days. But yeah, from what I put pieced together, I had a great time remembering stuff with you here.
Yep,
Um,
good, strong show. He still swerves when he drives with the title.
yeah, and this is of course being recorded before SmackDown because yeah, so we don't know anything right now. Really, the world could change. We could
Yep,
have new champions. We could have new SmackDown champions for the tag team titles. We
that's
could
right. But
have.
one champion that will retain is Rich the Riz successfully defending his basement championship tomorrow at Money in the Bank.
You
You can bank on
know,
it.
maybe you should win. Maybe you do win, and I could minimize this now. So
Hmm.
maybe you do win. Wow, right? So maybe you do win.
Hmm.
Okay. The world still here. The sun will still rise. I'll be fine. But what about you, Rich Riz? After being so prideful, saying that you will retain, that it's almost a guarantee. I think I think there's something I learned. When you've had the championship as many times as long as I have, I learned something. I learned never ever underestimate a basement booker, which is why I don't underestimate you. I never underestimate you. I don't underestimate you. And sometimes I'm not surprised when I lose. Like when I lost, I wasn't surprised. I'm like, of course I'm going to lose. It was his destiny. So that's what I believe. I believe in destiny. And it might be my destiny to win back the championship tomorrow, or it might not be. And I have to wait till SummerSlam. And then, the longer I don't get something, the worse I'm going to be, the more powerful I become.
Hmm.
So now you're dealing with this creature that's like feeding off desire,
Mm.
but doesn't really care too much. So, but each time, you know what? Maybe I want my belt back. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And now you got to be like extra cautious, like this dude. But except I'm like this.
You're just moseying on up
And then
there.
you're like, yeah, I'm busy, busy.
I like the mosey.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. So, just to sunset this here episode because I feel like that's a lot of stuff.
That's three pay-per-view / premium live events discussed
And
in this
yeah,
episode, brother.
when there's a show tomorrow,
Right.
and some idiot use swears. This is fun. Anyway, I can read all of this, so it's fine. All right. Sorry, me. Anyway, Rich the Riz, take it away. The unedited version of this episode will also be on Patreon and probably the other one. Basement, what's it? Patreon.com/BasementBookersPod or something like that.
Yep. That's the one.
Thank you, me. Put that there. Yep, there it is. And then you could see it there. And oh, it's gone. It's gone now. Okay, so
Hmm.
yes, first, sorry I interrupted you again. That's my
All
job.
good. All good. The
Job.
Patreon, that's where all our socials are. Let us know down below your picks and predictions for Money in the Bank. What'd you think of Forbidden Door? Also, let us know your thoughts for Heatwave and that sad, poor, unfortunate segment that we all had to sit through. But
Look,
beyond all that, like
at
I said,
least
let us know.
Lola Vice. Yeah, I don't know. I can't. I
Right.
don't know what else to say here.
Something. Let us know down below. And Jez got a party message.
Thank first of all, before the usual, thanks for all the new subscribers. Thanks for sitting. I mean, thanks for making it to where I can say this and you can hear it. Obviously, that's crazy. That's crazy in itself. That's a feat. So only people that get this far get to get 50 basement dollars. This is the new thing. So like randomly during a segment, like deep, like 50 basement dollars, which is not real. It's nothing really, but you know, and you can be like, no, me too. I won't even know how to track it. It doesn't matter. Keep it anyway, but that's not the point. But thank you so much. You could really be doing anything else right now. I don't know what happened. Like maybe you accidentally clicked on something and like the thing was over. And it's like oh, I know what it was. It was like it's one of those other channels that has like a decent amount of subscribers. And then like you left it on a playlist and then it ran out of stuff. And then like this came up. What's up? And then you're like, yo, these guys, and then maybe it's like, I don't know, because like circumstances, that's how life is crazy, right? But yeah, we appreciate you coming here. Rich does. Working on some things. I know the lighting's kind of, but I'll probably fix it in post, hopefully. But yeah, thank you everybody for listening. And I always say the match of life is scheduled for one fall, so you should make it count.
And do what the man says.
And I go, follow the bookers. And I'll do like a filter on it sometimes. And sometimes it'll sound like regular, but I might do like a filter. I think you can make it sound like Homer Simpson.
So what if it was like Homer? What if it was like Homer Simpson?
Imagine that. Anyway,
That sounds cool. That's
you
cool.
you have to get this far or else it doesn't mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.